Hello and welcome back to another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be drawing a whale. Why a whale? Sister asked me to, like a while ago, so might as well do it now. Alright, cool. We're going to draw this whale in the pose of the first picture that shows up when you look up whale. Is this any whale in particular? I have no idea. I genuinely have no idea what whale this is, but, you know, whatever. It's a whale. It's a whale. I don't know. Let's go ahead and decide how big the nose is gonna be. Yeah, sure. There's gonna need to be a ridge there, but you know, we're gonna drawing that off for a moment. Whale. And there's also gonna be an eye, probably about here. So we'll go ahead and go like this. We're gonna need to lengthen this. We might have to cut off her tail a little bit. I'm gonna try not to cut off her tail, but then I might have to make her a little shorter. I'm not entirely sure. This is kind of looking proportionally off, but you know, we'll fix the proportions and stuff. That's the whole reason we're doing this. No. That is way too large. And of course I don't have my eraser. Well, guess we're using this. It's fine, we can use a hard eraser right now. Those lines didn't need to be saved. Alright. Got ourselves a little whale. And this whale is going to be a witch. She's a she, and she will not be part of the whimsical little lads. Probably. I'm saying probably because, well, I don't entirely know. It all depends on if the squirrel is also going to be part of the whimsical little lads. Because you can't have one without the other. Why, you may ask? Because, of course, the squirrel and the whale are dating. Why would they not be? I don't know. My sister said they are. She said that there's the witch whale and the magician squirrel, and they are dating. Cool. So I'm drawing them. Now, I did get to come up with the story myself because I did not give her the option to. I did not come up with a reason on why they're together, but I came up with some reasons on how. Since they both have magic, her magic and what she's able to do and stuff is she's able to transform her size. She can't transform into other things, but she can change her size. So she can change herself to be the size of a squirrel or whatever so that they can actually go out and do stuff. And she's also gonna kind of travel around like Bubbles does. Bubbles being the shark that I made, the whimsical little shark. Just they float around in a bubble. I won't be drawing a bubble around her because I don't feel like finding something circular, but that's fine. That's how she moves. She floats around in a bubble so that she can breathe. Except for her bubble's a little different than Bubble is. Hers, actually, you know what? She's not going to float around in a bubble. She's just going to kind of float, and she just puts, part of her magic, she puts oxygen in her gills. Like, or she's able to breathe on land is what I'm trying to say. That's part of her magic. I don't know. Makes it easier that way if she's not floating in a bubble. Because of the other thing I was going to say. Let me grab my eraser. Alright. Since she is able to transform herself and change her size, she usually stays around the size of a small dog, I decided. Because if she stays around the size of a small dog, then her and the squirrel can still go out and do things together. But she also does still change herself to be about the size of a squirrel sometimes. Because of, you know, That's the size of her spouse. But whatever. Also, one little detail that I completely forgot to add, because, you know, why the fuck would I not forget to add this? God damn it. The witch hat. But her witch hat is going to have a strap on it. Like, holding her witch hat down onto her hat. Or onto her head. Because her magic is not keeping things in place. Her magic is just floating her around. So her witch hat's not going to stay on her head regardless. So I'm going to add a strap to make it stay there, which that idea is courtesy of my sister. She told me to do that. I think it's a really good idea, so I'm going to. So she has had the idea of the strap on the witch hat. Although I'm just gonna steal it, and I'm never gonna tell anybody except for right now that it was her idea. You know, as a good sibling does. Give her absolutely no credit from now on. Alright. That's what she gets for being salty about losing the competition. The majority of you aren't going to know what the competition is. I had a vote in my Discord. Me and my sister drew character sheets in a timed time, and I did a vote on who did better. I won. She was being salty about it, saying that my server had a bias because they're fans. I don't count anybody as a fan, and I don't think they had bias. Am I biased to saying that they don't have bias? Maybe. But I'm going to say they didn't, and I'm going to say I'm just better. Her drawing was also not done, though. So some of her complaining is warranted. Her drawing wasn't done. But we did it in a time limit. She did finish hers, and I said that I would redo the poll once I finish mine, but she said that would be cheating on my part because I'm going to finish mine digitally. She said that's cheating because I need to do it traditionally, and I said no. And she's not going to have a choice in the matter because I'm just going to redo the poll when I finish it. Which, if you want to see the drawings in question, you can join the Discord. And if you don't have Discord, nor do you want to join it, my drawing is in my posts on YouTube. Her drawing, I don't have it posted anywhere except for Discord, so you can't see that. Alright. Well, that is half of her tail. I don't really like how I'm doing her tail, but also her tail's kind of... This is a humpback whale, isn't it? I don't know. Whales, their tails are different than sharks, and, well, it's just kind of different. Technically, you shouldn't even be able to see her other part of the tail from here, but I do think I'm going to draw some of it, because, well, I just think that I should. Alright, that's the... that looks wrong, though. Oh, there's one thing that I forgot to do. I almost forgot to do this when I drew my shark, too. I think, was, like, add the little bumps back here. Which I'm pretty sure I almost didn't actually add those when I was drawing my shark. Also, I don't like calling that shark Bubbles because I genuinely can't remember if I named him Bubbles or not. I could go back and watch my video to see if his name is Bubbles, but why the fuck would I go watch my videos? I'm not gonna watch my own videos. I find them boring because I already know what happens in them. I don't even like watching the same shows over and over again. I'm not gonna watch the same video. Even though, actually, I never remember what the hell I actually said in any of my videos after I'm done recording, but whatever. Alright, I don't really like how I handled the mouth right here, but I genuinely don't know how I'm supposed to handle the mouth, so that's about the best we're gonna get at this moment. With me just kind of doing this on a whim without actually paying attention to whales. Usually when I do my whimsical little lads or draw some other animals, I do like to actually pay attention to what the animal looks like and look at them beforehand. But I didn't do that for the whale because I don't know. I don't know why I thought, drawing an animal that I see a lot. Actually, I don't know if I've ever seen a whale. Well, I mean, not a full body whale. I've seen whales off in the distance, I think. Like, seeing their tails, like, flap up or whatever. I think I've seen that, but I don't think I've ever actually seen a whale. Because they don't have them at zoos. So, yeah. I don't know why I thought this would be easier with me drawing an animal that I've literally never seen before. More than, like, their tail. And seen in media rarely. Alright, those fins, definitely not the best fins I've ever seen. I kind of wish they were pointed a little farther back, but we're going to keep them where they are. I feel like she needs more detail to her bottom half, but I genuinely don't know what I'm supposed to add. Do these lines go all the way back here? I'm gonna put them all the way back here, but I don't know if they do go all the way back to here. So if they don't, I'm doing a whoopsie. If they do, I'm not. And you may say, well, you could just look up at the reference that you have. And I would say, shut up. I'm just going to draw these and not pay attention to the reference. Because you know what we have to do now? Witch hat. Alright. Alright, we gotta do a strap around the witch hat. So I want to do the strap right there. So that means the witch hat needs to be right here. I should have pushed the fins back a little further from the eyes. I could do the witch hat on the top, but then it could cover her eyes. I could do it in her back, but then where's the squirrel gonna ride? Well, I guess then the squirrel could ride on her head and it would be on her back. But that would be somewhat restricting, so we're gonna put it here. I don't have any references of witch hats, nor do or have I drawn many witch hats recently, so this might not look the best, but whatever. Alright, we're gonna start with our strap. Start with the strap, which I would like to make the strap something like special looking, but at the moment I literally have no idea what the fuck I'm supposed to, like, how I'm supposed to make it special, so we're not going to worry about that. Now the strap's going to be coming from the, like, inside of the hat, like right here, not the parts around it, so it's not going to be pulled down. She'll still have, it'll still be like a normal witch hat, just it also has straps. Right. Then her witch hat's gonna be kind of small, but not too small. Alright. I kind of like that, yep. And I would like swirls on her witch hat because I think it is like the water or whatever, swirls, and maybe some music notes too, because whale songs, but I will not be adding that stuff because of I'm gonna plan out her witch hat another time when I draw her. And the more that I talk about her, the more that I decide things about her, I think she's definitely going to be a whimsical little lad, and in the squirrel will also be, but they're not going to be the same as the original whimsical little lads. They also have witch hats, but I don't know how they got theirs. The original whimsical little lads all got their witch hats from the witch who had them all. She left a box open and a bunch of wild animals just kind of got into it. How did they get their witch hats? I don't know. Maybe she accidentally, like, blew some of them. Maybe some of them fell out the window or something when she left it open. Who knows? We can decide all that stuff some other time. That's not the too important part that I'm worried about right now. Alright, there we go. There's our little witch hat. That's definitely not perfect, but you know, I think it doesn't look terrible. It's not exactly how I want it or anything, but it's alright. We'll go ahead and, you know what, we will add some swirls. Yeah, I don't really think I'm gonna keep those because it looks wrong just having multiple swirls on it like that, which is why I want to plan it ahead of time. I also don't know what music notes look like. Let me see if I can draw one from memory. When I used to do piano like a long time ago. These are music notes, right? God, I couldn't read sheet music if I was presented with it now. That's a note too, I think. I'm pretty sure that's a note too. I don't know. Those music notes are gonna stay there because why not? But on to the tiny linies. That will be a time lapse. So bye bye. Alrighty, here she is. Isn't she beautiful? I did end up adding swirls onto her witch hat. They're not exactly to my liking or exactly how I wanted them, but they're not bad. I also did add music notes to her band to make it a little more unique. Although I definitely think I'm going to want to find a string of music notes that actually play something nice or has something to do with whales, because those are just random. But yeah, I think it looks good. Definitely not the best thing I've ever drawn, but it's pretty good. So, see ya.